All right, well, let's find our comfortable seat. Again, having a blanket or cushion underneath your hips for support, allowing you to feel supported as we sit for a few minutes. Then we'll begin rubbing the palms of our hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. Take the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. And bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And taking a couple of deep cleansing breaths. When you're ready, gently floating your hands down, keeping your eyes closed or gently gazing downward. Extend your spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Lift your heart with each inhaling breath. Sitting bones sinking down through each exhale. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb vibrations. Take another full breath in. Take a moment to absorb the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning and set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. Allow each inhale to bring you here, to this room, to this moment. Allow each exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. With your next inhaling breath, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. Follow your body's rhythm. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding your lungs in all directions with each inhale. Completely releasing the breath with each exhale. As you continue this full deep breath, gently begin to lengthen the exhale, making it longer than the inhale. Releasing it slowly and gently, waiting patiently for the end of the breath, and then gently filling the lungs again. Take one more full extended breath. And when you reach the end of your exhale, gently return to your natural breath. Noticing any changes you feel in your mind or body. Remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. Now bring your awareness to your right hand, allowing the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together. And then bring the fingertips to your heart center, turning your attention deeper inward toward your heart. looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all that you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down, gently open your eyes. If you'd like to, you can change or switch your legs or change positions. I need to move that fan a little. It was kind of drying me out. And it's cold down here in the basement, so I needed the heater this morning. All right. With your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch the shoulders up by your ears. And as you exhale, press the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Bring the hands in front of the chest, palms facing down, tucking the shoulder blades, strengthening the muscles around the scapula, lifting the heart, noticing if one side feels stronger than the other, trying to even that out. And let's press the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart, gently lifting the vision. Think about squeezing the center of the shoulder blades toward each other, wringing out any stress or tension. And opening the arms wide, turning the palms up, lifting the heart a little more if that feels okay, drawing the shoulder blades down, and squeezing the lower corners of the shoulder blades toward each other. If it feels okay, you could flex the wrists, pressing through the palm, stretching through the wrist and the lower arm, forearm. There we go. I was losing the word. And then we'll bring our arms in front, crossing the right arm over the left, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or left hand around the right wrist, or hands on the shoulders. Lifting the elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Gently squeezing the arms together, pressing the elbows away from us. Breathing into the upper back. Allow the jaw to be soft and soften through the neck. If it feels okay, you can add some movement, gently lowering and lifting the elbows, Extending that stretch around the shoulders. With your next inhale, lifting up a little higher if that feels okay, gently arching. And as you exhale, folding over, letting the arms drop down, being careful of the low back, allowing the weight of the arms to open through the upper back. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. We'll release the hands, bring that left hand to the right upper arm or shoulder, extending the left arm out. And then we'll gently draw that arm across the body. Thinking about dropping the shoulder blade down, stretching through the shoulder. And then we'll release and open wide again, tucking the shoulder blades down, lifting through the heart, pressing through the palms. And bringing the arms in front, pressing the left over the right, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or right hand around the left wrist, or hands at the shoulders. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Gently squeezing the arms together, pressing the elbows away, breathing into the upper back. Allow the jaw to be soft. Relax through the neck. If it feels okay, you can begin adding some movement, lifting low and lowering the elbows, extending that stretch around the shoulders. And with your next inhale, if it feels okay, lifting up, gently arching. And exhale, gently folding over, allowing the weight of the arms to open through the upper back, being careful of your low back. And with your next inhale, coming back to the center, we'll release the hands, extend the left arm out, right hand on the left shoulder or upper arm, gently drawing the arm across the body, tucking the shoulder blades down, lengthening through the neck. And then we'll release, opening wide one more time. Then we'll have the arms extended out from the shoulders, and we'll make some circles with the wrists. You can have the palms open or bring the hands into a fist, whatever feels best for you. And reversing those circles. And then let's bring the hands to the heart. We'll interlace the fingers. Press the palms out in front of us. Roll the shoulders forward, drop the chin, round the spine. Inhale, lift the hands up over the head, gently arching. Exhale, round, pressing those palms away. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, leave the palms up and gently drop the chin toward the chest. Soften the elbows, rolling the shoulder blades, upper corners of the shoulder blades back toward each other, gently squeezing them, bringing out the tension in the trapezius muscles across the shoulders and into the neck. Jaw is relaxed. Soften gently through the back of the neck. If it feels okay, you could press the palms a little higher. Listening to your body. And with your next inhale, lift the chin. And as you exhale, float the hands down. I'll take a breath in and out. Let's inhale the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Inhale, lift and switch. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift and switch. Exhale, reach. Follow your breath, moving from one side to the other or holding on each side for a few breaths, whatever feels best for you in the moment. And we'll do once more on each side. And then gently come back to the center when you're evened out. Let's extend our legs out in front of us and we'll work with a full twist today. You're welcome to stay on the blanket if you'd like, or remove that if that feels better. So we'll have our legs extended out in front of us. Start with bending the right leg. You can stay here or bring the right foot on the outside of the left knee. And you could stay here or bring the left foot by the right hip. We'll bring the right hand behind the right hip. Left arm extends out in front and then either wraps around the knee or comes on the outside of the thigh, whatever feels best for you. The hand can be down, up, or at the heart. Face forward and take a deep breath in now that you're all twisty. And as you exhale, gently twist to the right. Head comes around last. Lifting the heart with each inhale. Gently twisting through the ribs with each exhale. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. Let's bring that right knee over the top of the left if that feels comfortable with the knee stacked. You can also keep the foot on the floor or extend the lower leg and then stack the knee there. So whichever feels most accessible for you. If you'd also prefer to work with fire log or double pigeon pose, you're welcome to do that. So finding that position that feels comfortable for you. Hands in front of the legs, spine up tall. Think about tilting the pelvis forward, leading with the heart. Gently walking the hands out if that feels okay. Keeping the spine nice and long, breathing into the low back, softening around the outer hips. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll unwrap the legs, shaking them out. Then we'll bend our left leg, drawing the knee in toward the chest. You can stay here or bring the left foot on the outside of the right knee, or bring the right foot by the left hip. Left hand comes behind the left hip, right arm extends out in front, either wrapping around the leg or coming on the outside of the thigh. Hand can be down, up, or at the heart. And face forward, deep breath in. As you exhale, lifting the spine, gently twisting toward the left, head comes around last. Hold and breathe. Lifting the heart with each inhale, gently twisting through each exhale. With your next inhale, come back to the center and let the breath go. And we'll stack the knees again if it feels comfortable having the left on top of the right, or keeping that left foot on the floor, or extending the right leg out so that it's easier for the left knee to stack on top. So finding whichever version feels best for you right now. Might feel different one side to the other. We'll bring the hands in front of the legs, lifting the spine tall. Oh, I forgot you could also do fire log. And tilting the pelvis forward, leading with the heart, coming as far as feels comfortable for you. Softening around the outer hips and through the low back. Letting go a little more with your next exhale. And with your next inhale, lifting up tall and unwrapping the legs, shaking them out. Let's bring our feet down toward the end of the mat. Extending our spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Gently flexing the feet, engaging the quadriceps by drawing the kneecaps up. Gently lifting the heels off the floor if that feels okay as we rest in staff pose. Hands can be on the thighs or floor. Keeping that spine tall, notice the shoulders back and down. lengthening through the crown of the head as you press through the heels. And gently release. Inhale, lifting the arms up over the head. Exhale, gently floating down, hands resting on the legs, floor, or feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, soften. Follow your breath, lengthening and softening. Noticing where you feel tightness or tension in the back of the legs or the low back. Sending the breath there and softening around it. With your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll bring the hands a few inches behind our hips, fingertips facing toward the hips. And let's bend the knees, placing the feet about hip width apart. We'll work with reverse table with a few extra options if you would like. So elbows are gently bent, and rolling those shoulders back toward each other. With your next inhaling breath, lift the hips. Exhale, softening those elbows, gently lower the hips down. Hover if that feels okay. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower and hover. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe here if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down, keeping the elbows slightly bent, hips lifted up high, head extended out from the spine. You can hold here or continue moving, or if you'd like, you can play around with extending out one leg, working to keep the hips parallel, engaging those belly muscles and just switching the leg. Well, not just, because it does take a fair amount of work. Listening to your body, doing as much as feels okay today. And then when you're ready, lowering down, and we'll shake out those wrists. Let's round the spine, gently rolling the rest of the way down. Extending the legs out. Gently scanning up your body, noticing any parts that feel tired, achy, or sore. Honoring yourself and your body by listening to its messages. Pushing yourself to your edge, but not beyond it. And remembering that each time you do yoga, your body is a little bit different. Let's bend the right leg, floating the hands to the knee as you draw it in toward the chest. Lengthen through the neck, shoulders tuck under. Keeping the left hand on the knee, allow the right arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down. And as you exhale, gently twist over the left side of the body. Right hip comes off of the mat, foot comes across toward the floor. Vision toward the right arm as much as feels okay for your neck. With your next inhale, come back to the center, extending the leg up toward the sky. Take hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. As you exhale, point your toes toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. Now begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, stretching your foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Reaching through the heel. Gently drop the sitting bone down, arching the low back slightly. Then tucking the pelvis, drawing the belly muscles down toward the back. Draw the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. With your next exhaling breath, if it feels okay, lift your head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down, drawing the belly muscles down, lengthening through the neck, reaching through the heel. And with your next inhaling breath, lower the head and chest. And as you exhale, gently lower the leg. Let's bend the left leg, floating the hands to the knee as you draw it in toward the chest. Lengthen through the neck, shoulders tuck under. Soften around the hip. Keeping the right hand on the knee, allow the left arm to fall out to the side, palms facing down. And as you exhale, gently twist over the right side of the body. Left hip comes off of the mat, foot comes across toward the floor. Release the muscles around the hip, easing the spine into the twist. With your next inhale, come back to the center, extending the leg up toward the sky, hands behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. Exhale, toes reach toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through your heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. Now begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, stretching your foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Then reaching through the heel, drop the sitting bones down, gently arching the low back. And then tucking the pelvis, draw the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. Belly muscles draw down toward the back. With your next exhaling breath, if it feels okay, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Reaching through the heel, lengthening through the neck. Belly muscles draw down. And with your next inhaling breath, lower the head and chest. And as you exhale, slowly lower the leg. Once you reach the floor, take a deep breath in and out. Let's bend the knees, drawing them into the chest. Lengthen through the spine. Think about engaging your lower belly muscles, kind of drawing them down toward the back. And you can just rest here doing that kind of isometric drawing down and releasing. Or if it feels okay, with your exhale, you can lift the head toward the knees. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Thinking about those lower belly muscles engaging. Neck is nice and long, chin is gently away from the chest. And with your next inhale, lower the head and chest. Let the breath go. Let's spread the knees wide. You can either bring the hands behind the knees or bringing the arms on the inside of the legs, take hold of the arches of the feet. From either position, bring the soles of the feet to face the ceiling. Easing the knees out to the side as far as feels comfortable. Low back sinking toward the mat. Lengthen through the neck. Consciously soften around the hips. Relax the muscles of the face as you surrender into Ananda Balasana, happy baby pose. And we'll lower the feet down, bring the knees back together. From here, you can roll to your right side, pressing up with your hands, or slip the hands behind the knees, kick the feet over the head, and gently rock up. And let's come forward onto our hands and knees. If you'd like to add a blanket under your knees, please feel free to do that. We'll bring our hands under our shoulders, knees under the hips. Elbows are soft, so the inner elbows are facing each other. Head extends out from the spine. Belly muscles draw up. Take a breath in and out in your strong table pose. With your next inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the spine, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, drop the chin. Inhale, lifting, spine follows. Exhale, rounding. Follow your breath. And with your next inhale, coming back to table pose. Let's reach the right leg out behind us, dropping the right hip, flexing the foot, reaching through the heel, softening the elbows. Notice if that left hip is collapsing and try to stack the hip over the knee. If it feels okay, you could lift the leg a little higher. Lift the heart. And if it feels okay, extend the left arm out. Keeping that right elbow slightly bent. We'll float the left hand down, draw the knee in toward the belly, rounding the spine. Let's step forward with that right foot, walking it out towards the right, a little closer toward the edge of the mat. Think about pressing the right hip back, left hip forward, and then soften down through the front of the left hip. Pressing into the left foot. If it feels okay with your inhale, sweep the arms up, gently arching. As you exhale, we'll bring the hands down, plant the left hand onto the mat, and sweep that right arm up toward the sky, gently twisting. And then coming forward again with our inhale, we'll sweep the arms up. Exhale, plant the hand. Inhale, sweep the arm up. Exhale, lower that right arm. And inhale, gently arching. Exhale, sweeping through the right arm. Breathing in. And then exhale. I've got my breaths all mixed up as we move through. We'll come back to the hands on the mat. Let's rock that right hip back, pressing through the hip, reaching through the back of the leg, flexing the foot, if that feels okay. And then we'll come back to the sole of the foot and bring that right hip back. And we'll just rock the hips from side to side a little. Looks like we lost Narcy there. All right, and coming back to table pose. Softening those elbows, hands under the shoulders, head extends out, belly drawn up. Let's reach back through the left leg, dropping that left hip down so the hips are parallel to the mat. Flexing the left foot, reaching through the heel. If it feels okay, you could lift that left leg a little higher, keeping the right hip stacked over the right knee. Lift the heart, shoulders are tucked. And if it feels okay, extending that right arm out. We'll float the right hand down, draw the left knee in, rounding the spine. And then gently stepping forward the rest of the way. Bringing that foot a little bit toward the outside of the mat. And we'll drop the right hip down. Press the left hip back, right hip forward, softening a little more through the front of the right hip. Finding a stable place and pressing that left foot into the mat. If it feels okay with your next inhale, let's sweep the arms up, gently arching. Exhale, coming forward, planting the right hand, sweeping the left arm up. Inhaling, gently twisting. Exhale, lowering that left arm. Inhale, sweeping the arms up over the head. Exhale, planting the right hand, sweeping the left arm up. Twisting, taking a breath in. Exhale, sweeping the left arm down. Inhale, gently arching. Exhale, planting the left hand, planting the right hand, sweeping the left arm up. And exhale, lowering that left hand. Let's rock the left hip back. Lengthening through the hamstrings, and if it feels okay, flexing the foot, drawing the toes up. And then we'll come back to the foot and bring the knee back to the mat. And then let's lower down onto our bellies. Pressing the pelvic bone into the mat, zipping the legs together. Rest the chin or forehead on the mat. Hands are underneath the shoulders. With your next inhaling breath, pressing the pelvic bone into the floor. Inhale, lift the head and chest into a gentle cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. If you'd like, you can lift the hands. And with your next exhale, gently lower down. Let's press the hips back to the heels. Rounding the spine, coming into child's pose, or keeping the hips stacked over the knees into reclined puppy. Doing what feels right for your body today. Breathing into the spine, creating space between the vertebrae. Let's shift back onto our hands and knees, and we'll tuck the toes under, pressing the hips up and back into downward dog. Rolling the shoulders back toward each other, soften the knees, head between the arms with the chin away from the chest. And then gently begin to lower the heels just as far as feels okay. Balancing the weight between the hands and the feet. Lifting high through the hips. Releasing the back of the neck. And gently looking forward, we can walk or jump the feet up towards our hands. Feet are hip width apart. Soften the knees. With your next inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, gently fold over. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. And with your next inhale, bend the knees, sweeping the arms out and up, palms together over the head. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's work with tree pose again this week. Vrksasana. So if you'd like to have your, use the wall for support, have your back to the wall. We'll have our feet hip width apart, spine up tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Shift the weight to your left foot as you find a focus spot for your gaze, and turn the right knee out to the side. And rest the heel against the leg, working on balance by lifting the toes. Bring the foot to the calf or into the groin. When you find your steady place, bring your hands to the heart. Pressing into the left foot, lifting up out of that left hip gently without locking the knee. Stay here, or if it feels okay, grow those branches tall, palms together or apart. Soften through the shoulders. Pressing the right knee out to the side gently, if that feels okay. Rooting down through the foot as you lengthen up toward the sky, finding your center. We'll bring the hands to the heart. And gently lower the leg down, shaking out that left leg. Finding our balance on both feet again. Feet are hip width apart, spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lift the toes, spread them wide as you lower them down, shifting the weight to the right leg. Finding focus spot for our gaze. Turning the left knee out to the side. Again, resting the heel, working on balance here, or bringing the foot to the calf or the foot in toward the groin. Might feel different one side to the other. When you find your steady place, bring your hands to the heart. Lengthen through the spine. Pressing the foot into the mat, rooting down. Lift up out of the right hip gently without locking the knee. Stay here, or if it feels okay, begin to grow the branches up, palms together or apart. Shoulders are soft. Rooting and lifting, finding the balance in the center. Listening to your body, holding as long as feels comfortable. When you're ready, bringing the hands back to the heart and lowering the leg down. And we'll shake them out. Let's spread our legs nice and wide. Turning the toes toward the short end of the right foot toward the short end of the mat. Left heel drops back at a 45-degree angle. Let's turn the hips to face the long end of the mat. Inhale the arms out at shoulder height, tucking the shoulder blades. And as you exhale, bend the right leg, coming into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Vision over the right hand, lifting the heart, softening the shoulders, pressing actively into the feet. Notice if that back leg is kind of letting the front leg do everything, and engage the quadriceps. Rooting into the floor, connecting to the earth. Draw up whatever you need in this moment. Breathe it in through the legs, drawing it up into your heart. Sharing it out into the world after you've filled your own spirit. With your next inhale, gently straighten the leg. As you exhale, press the left hip out behind you, reach the right arm out across you, and move into Trikonasana, dropping the right hand toward the mat. Left arm comes up toward the sky or can stay at the low back. Rotating the torso to face the wall, lengthen through the left side of the body. Press both feet actively into the floor. And with your next inhale, press into the feet, lift up tall. And we're going to turn our torso to face the short end of the mat. And we're going to bring that left foot up a little bit. Woo. If you'd like a block for the twisted triangle, you can, or reverse triangle, you can bring that on the inside of the left foot, placing it there. So arms out to the side. We're going to gently bring that left hand down toward the mat, turning the torso to face the thigh. Right arm floats up toward the sky. So sort of like we did when we were on our knees. Notice if your right hip likes to swing out like mine does, and try to tuck it back in so it's in alignment with your leg. Then pressing into the feet with your next inhale, lift up tall and untwist. And we'll float the hands down. Let's switch our legs. So we'll have the left foot toward the short end of the mat. Right heel drops back. Hips facing toward the long end of the mat. If you want to have that block down toward the left foot, you can go ahead and grab that. We'll inhale the arms out at shoulder height. Exhale, bending the left leg, knee stacked over the ankle, coming into Virabhadrasana 2. Vision over the left arm. Lift the heart, soften the shoulders. Press actively into both feet. Connecting to the earth. Again, drawing up whatever you need from the earth. Strength, courage, patience, energy, whatever it is, breathe it up through your legs into your heart. Filling up your own spirit. And if there's any left over, sending the rest out into the world. With your next inhale, we'll gently straighten the left leg. Exhale, right hip presses out behind us, left arm reaches across the room, floating that left arm down, right arm up toward the sky or right hand to the low back. Rotating the torso to face the wall. Press actively into both legs. Lengthen through the right side of the body. One more breath. With your next inhale, lift up tall. And we're going to turn the torso to face, or the hips to face the short end of the mat. And you're going to kind of bring that right foot up a little bit and square those hips. So you might want to have the base of the hips spread apart a little bit more as well. Having our arms out, if you'd like the block by the left foot for the reverse triangle. We'll gently twist and bring that right hand down toward the mat, turning the vision toward the left arm as it floats up out of the shoulder. Pressing into the feet with your next inhale, we'll gently untwist and float the hands down. And let's bring both feet to face the long end of the mat. If you'd like a block in the center for the forward bend, go ahead and leave that there. With your next inhale, lift the arms up over the head, lifting the torso up out of the pelvis. Exhale, swan dive, hips out behind us. And float the hands down underneath the shoulders. Soften the knees. Press into the feet, lifting the sitting bones up toward the sky. Lengthen through the spine. If it feels okay, lower the head and chest toward the floor, keeping the spine nice and long. If you find your spine rounding, just lift the chin away from the chest gently. Pressing into the feet, lifting through the sitting bones. Pressing into the hands, let's walk the feet closer toward each other, stopping just outside of hip width apart. We'll work with Malasana squat, so if you like to bring a block between the heels in the center, you can add that. Lowering the hips, hands to the heart, you can work with a high Malasana, strengthening here. If it feels okay for your knees, you can lower the hips down toward the block or the heels. You can also come all the way down to the floor, walking the feet a little further out. Pressing the elbows or upper arms into the knees or thighs, hands to the heart. Spine is nice and long. And then we'll gently lower the rest of the way down if you aren't there already, and extending the legs nice and wide. If you'd like to add the blanket or a pillow underneath your hips here to help the hips tilt forward, go ahead and do that. Now think about flexing the feet, lengthening through the spine. We'll start with the hands in the center. Just gently walk them out, just as far as feels okay. Keeping those toes pointing up toward the ceiling. Tilting the pelvis forward, pressing back through the tailbone. Breathe into the inner groin. Gently softening. Letting go a little more as that feels okay. And with your next inhale, gently pressing into the hands, walking back toward the torso. We'll turn to face the right leg. You can place the hands on either side of the leg. You're also welcome to use a strap around the bottom of the foot if you would like. Gently twisting the torso to face the leg, lengthen up tall. And as you exhale, gently again walk out over the leg just as far as feels okay. Lengthening with the inhale, softening with the exhale. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll turn to face the left leg. Again, hands on either side of the leg or placing the strap around the arch of the foot. Turning the torso to face the thigh, lengthen the spine tall. And as you exhale, gently fold over. Lengthening and softening, finding your edge in this moment. With your next inhale, lift up tall. Coming back to the center. And we'll gently come back into a cross-legged position. Inhale, lifting the spine tall. Shoulders back and down. Shoulders stacked over the hips. I tend to sometimes start this leaning forward, so I always have to remind myself to stack the shoulders over the hips. Chin is gently tucked back, head stacked over the shoulders. With your next inhaling breath, lengthen through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, drop the right ear over the right shoulder. Tuck the right shoulder back and down, breathing into the left side of the neck. If it feels okay, you could bring that left forearm across the low back, drawing that shoulder a little lower. And with your next inhale, lifting the head back to center, releasing the arm. And as you exhale, drop the left ear over the left shoulder, tucking the left shoulder back and down, breathing into the right side of the neck. If it feels okay, bringing that right forearm across the low back, drawing the shoulder down as you gently breathe into the right side of the neck. With your next inhale, come back to the center, releasing the arm. As you exhale, turn your chin over your right shoulder. Right shoulder tucks back and down. Hold and breathe. With your next inhale, come back to the center. Exhale the chin over the left shoulder. Hold and breathe. Tuck that shoulder back and down. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. As you exhale, drop the chin toward the chest. Shoulders are back and down. Just soften and breathe into the back of the neck. And with your next inhale, lift the head up tall and let the breath go. Then we'll gently come to the center of the mat. If you'd like to go ahead and cover up a little bit as we roll back, feel free to do that. When you're ready, rounding the spine into a C and gently rolling back. We'll bend the legs, extending them up toward the sky, rocking your hands or a block underneath the hips to support the legs. Lengthen through the neck. Ankles and knees are relaxed as you breathe into the belly. And gently bend the knees, rocking the hands or block out from underneath the hips. You can wrap the arms around the legs, rocking from side to side, or making small circles with the low back. Or reverse the circles. If you'd like one last twist, you can bring the arms out to shoulder height, knees together, dropping the knees to the right, vision to the left, breathing into the hip and spine. And with your next inhale, back to the center. And as you exhale, lowering to the left, vision to the right, breathing in around the hip and spine. With your next inhale, come back to the center. Lowering the feet down. You can either walk your feet out toward the edges of the mat, resting your knees together, or extend the legs out into Shavasana. You can also have a bolster or blanket under the knees. And if you'd like to cover up with a blanket to keep the warmth in your body, go ahead and do that. And when you found your comfortable position. If your legs are extended, you can have the feet about hip width apart. Have the arms slightly away from the body with the palms turned up. Tuck the shoulders back and down. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Gently bring your awareness back to the breath. Allowing each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm. Allow each exhale to release anything that no longer serves you. Let the breath bring you back to your heart center, reconnecting with the light and joy that always reside deep within your heart. Let each breath fill your heart with loving kindness for yourself. Sending that loving kindness on the breath to each and every cell of your body. Honoring all of who you are in this moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, you can gently bend your knees, roll to your side, and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. For our world, our communities, and for ourselves. Thank you all so much for joining me today and taking some time for yourselves.
Thank